And trust me, if you understand this concept, you can easily assume that you have become sociologist. Sociological imagination is nothing but a unique way to explain social world. Okay, a unique way through which only sociologists explain the world. तो लोग जैसे पूछते हैं कि सर सोशियोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव क्या होता है, सोशियोलॉजिकली एनालाइज करना किसे कहते हैं, यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, यू विल गेट द आंसर. ओके ओके. Suppose one of your friend, very close friend, is unemployed. Okay, jobless. Okay. What will you do? So you were 5 friends. All the 4 friends are well settled. Okay. One friend is not able to get job. What will you do? You will give him some advice na bhai ki bhai do some hard work, have some patience, okay, show some dedication, make some calendar timetable, ठीक है, then you will crack the exam and then you will get the job. ऐसे ही बोलोगे, है ना? ठीक. अच्छा, now imagine in a population of 1 lakh, 30,000 are unemployed. Now what will you do? Will you ask 30,000 to come to one hall and tell them अपना कैलेंडर बनाओ, ठीक है, ऑर्गेनाइजर अच्छे से डेडिकेशन शो करो, क्या क्या करोगे फिर वहां पे? हाँ, did you get my question? The advice that you are giving to one person, the same advice you are not giving to 30,000. Why? क्वेश्चन इंटरेस्टिंग है कि नहीं? क्यों नहीं करते हम ऐसी सेम एडवाइस उतनों को क्यों नहीं देंगे? Actually, you will come to know it is not personal trouble of that person. It is actually structural issue. Something is wrong within society that unemployed people are produced every day. It is not personal trouble of one person कि भाई you did not study enough or you were not hardworking enough. Actually, some structural issue is there. Fine. So like in our house, if one of the wall, if you see leakage in one wall, okay, you can fix it. But second day you see same leakage in some other wall of some other room, then you actually come to know it is structural issue. The moment when the house was established, there might have been some structural issues at that point of time. So it is not going to get fixed just by working on one wall. You have to rebuild the whole house. Getting my point? So what is imagination sociological? First of all, let us understand this concept is given by American sociologist called as C.W. Mills. He is American sociologist. C.W. Mills. Okay. And let us first define it, then we start with examples. Sociological imagination is ability of a researcher to look for structural issues behind personal troubles. Structural issue behind personal troubles. Okay. चलो अब एक एक करके let us start with example, then you will come to know what is sociological imagination. Okay. here I will talk about some personal trouble. Here I will discuss nothing is personal trouble, it is public issue. Okay. And here I will explain the same thing in sociological way. ऐसा फॉर्मेट रखेंगे ताकि आपको क्लियर कट डिफरेंस पता चले क्या है क्या नहीं. ओके. लेट अस फर्स्ट टॉक अबाउट पर्सनल ट्रबल ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल. ओके, चलो देख लेते हैं. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट. ओके, unemployment. Okay, one of your friend is unemployed. Okay, you would say ki bhai I mean you would definitely say that he may not have done hard work enough, or he may not have been studious enough, something like this. Okay, or he may not have that required skills, potential. Okay, bad luck, ye wo sab. Okay, maybe God wants you to remain unemployed forever. ओके, समथिंग लाइक इस तरह की कुछ बात आप करोगे. ओके, बट ग्रेजुअली यू वुड कम टू नो थ्रू हिंदू, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट इज राइजिंग. इन द लास्ट 10 years unemployment rate has risen from this to this. You would come to know actually your friend was one of that point in that curve. आपका फ्रेंड भी उस कर्व में ही है कहीं. ठीक है, तो yesterday you were telling him कि भाई तूने ये नहीं किया वो नहीं किया, आज आपको दिख रहा है अरे ये तो स्ट्रक्चरल इशू है, समथिंग इज रॉन्ग विद इन सोसाइटी. ओके, सो पब्लिक इशू का मतलब ये हो गया कि अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इज नॉट पर्सनल ट्रबल, इट इज मास इशू. इट इज अ सोशल फिनोमेना. ओके, दिस इज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑफ वन, इट इज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑफ मैनी. ओके, now let us try to understand. Once you have understood कि unemployment एक का नहीं है, बहुतों का है, it is not personal trouble, it is public issue. Now I'll explain sociological imagination क्या है. Okay, see, you know very well that the success of company, any company in this world, is measured by what? Profit. The more profit company earns, the more successful company is. Fine. Okay, now to maintain the profit or to get more profit, companies may even lay off employees. समझ रहे हो कि नहीं समझ रहे हो? यानी निकालना शुरू कर सकती है कंपनी एम्प्लॉइज को. ठीक है, आजकल आता रहता है अन अकेडमी ने ये निकाल दिया, वो कर दिया, ऐसे कर दिया. ठीक है, ये सब चलता रहता है, एड टेक बबल, वो सब जो है. ओके, एनी हाउ, बट अदर देन दिस देयर इज वन मोर फैक्टर. वेन एवर यू सी टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट इन सोसाइटी, यू सी मैनी फिजिकल लेबर और मैनी ह्यूमन लेबर would lose their jobs. See, when ATM was introduced, millions of people lost their jobs. Because what ATM is doing today was done by many people in an office at one point of time. Today, ATM can also collect your cash. It can count the cash, तो वो सब है ही. Collect the cash, deposit करो, saving करो, अपना password change करो, okay, checkbook निकालो, print करवा लो. Yes, these things were done by 100 people in an organization. Now it is being done by one machine without any employee. Okay, that means whenever technology advances, people lose their jobs. And secondly, success of company is measured in terms of profit, and in order to maintain profit, company would lay off employees. Now you tell me, agar in unemployment is caused by these factors, is unemployment personal trouble? Would you now go back to that person and tell him, तू पढ़ा नहीं ढंग से, ये नहीं किया, वो नहीं किया? अब तुम्हें लगेगा कि illogical बोल रहे थे तुम उस टाइम. लग रहा है कि नहीं लग रहा है? So that this shows sociological imagination, that you are actually going back to structural issues behind personal troubles. Got my point? Now, here we will write 2 points. Success rate of company is measured by profits. And layoff, comma, termination or downsizing helps in maintaining the profit. Second, technological advancement replace human labor by machine. That means to think like a sociologist simply imply to not look into individual, but to look into structures. Fine? ठीक, ये तो हो गया एक एग्जाम्पल. लेट अस डिस्कस सम मोर एग्जाम्पल्स. ओके, यस, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, रिसेशन को भी आप डाल सकते हो. डोंट थिंक रिसेशन है तो वो तो इकोनॉमिक्स में आएगा, सोशियोलॉजी में कैसे? सोशियोलॉजी से बड़ा सब्जेक्ट, मैं इसलिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं उसका टीचर हूँ, मैं ऑनेस्टली बता रहा हूँ, सोशियोलॉजी से बड़ा सब्जेक्ट इस दुनिया में कोई भी नहीं है. You will come to know after a period of time, because to study sociology means to study everything. Economy is part of society. It is not that society is part of economy. Okay. Religion is part of society. Family is part of society. State is part of society. Globalization is part of world societies. So we study everything. मतलब रेंज बहुत बड़ी है सोशियोलॉजी में. मतलब अ बॉय प्रपोजिंग गर्ल टू अमेरिका इन्वेडिंग इराक, ये दोनों चीजें हम पढ़ते हैं. रेंज देख रहे हो आप, यहां से वहां तक. ओके, एनी हाउ, लेट मी गिव यू सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल. डिवोर्स की बात करते हैं. चलो, डिवोर्स. ओके, अच्छा, सपोज वन ऑफ योर फ्रेंड recently got divorced. Okay, what would you suggest him? What would you advise him? What would you think? दूसरी शादी कर लो, वो तो कर लेगा, बट पहली की टूटी के ऊपर तुम क्या बोलना चाहोगे? वुड यू नॉट थिंक कि भाई ये तो होना ही था तेरे साथ? ऐसे ही बोलोगे? ठीक है, बोलोगे अच्छा हुआ जो हुआ. ठीक है, यू मे से दैट भाई you guys should have sat together somewhere, discussed the issues. Okay, those issues could have been sorted. It is too soon for you to take this step. Please avoid this step. Okay, इस तरह से आप बोल रहे हो. That means you are treating divorce of an individual or your friend as personal trouble, as if it is happening to him only in this whole world. बाकी सब में कहीं हो ही नहीं रहा डिवोर्स तो. ठीक है, बट यू एक्चुअली केम टू नो थ्रू हिंदू नेक्स्ट डे, नोट्स बना रहे थे जब, तो डिवोर्स रेट इज इंक्रीजिंग. तुम्हें लगा यार क्या हर रोज ही जो मैं बोलता हूँ हर रोज अगले दिन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट बढ़ रहा है, डिवोर्स रेट बढ़ रहा है. सो थ्रू हिंदू यू केम टू नो नेक्स्ट डे डिवोर्स रेट इज इंक्रीजिंग. ओके, देन यू एक्चुअली कॉल्ड योर फ्रेंड एंड यू सेड सॉरी एक बार मैं हिंदू से पढ़ लेता हूँ इशू क्या है. ओके, एनी है. सो डिवोर्स ऑफ वन कपल may seem to be personal trouble. Okay, but divorce is again public issue. Because you read that divorce rate is increasing rapidly. If you compare from past 10 years, you would come to know that rate कितना बढ़ रहा है. Okay, आज ही आप अगर आप गूगल करो तो आपको पता चलेगा कितना बड़ा है रेट, ऊपर जा ही जा रहा है, नीचे आ ही नहीं रहा है वो. Okay. Now sociological imagination. अब हमें पता चल गया this is not personal trouble, it is public issue. Now we would try to figure out structural causes behind divorce. Now what could be the structural cause according to you? Feminism. थोड़ा सोचने लग गए हो आप ऑलरेडी. ओके, थोड़ा सा आप सोचने लग गए हो. ओके, फेमिनिज्म डेफिनेटली. ओके, फेमिनिज्म की वजह से ही न्यूक्लियर फैमिली आप बोल सकते हो एक तरीके से. हम ये बोलेंगे कि विद फेमिनिज्म व्हाट हैपेंड, women became as much ambitious as men are. That means women will not be doing that so-called sacrificial role. Okay, generally in traditional society, man expects women to do some sacrifice and to sit at home and take care of parents. But with feminism, ambitions developed in women as well, at par with men. That means both are equally ambitious. When both are equally ambitious, both would be trying their best to get the best jobs, and the bestest of the best jobs they may find in different cities. Girl may find in Bangalore, boy may find in Mussoorie. Okay, both are maintaining long distance relation for a very long time. Ultimately, boy said to girl, come to Mussoorie, otherwise it's very difficult for me. She said, you come to Bangalore. भाई तुम आ जाओ बैंगलोर, मैं ही क्यों आऊं मसूरी. ठीक है, और मैं तुमसे ज्यादा कमा रही हूँ, या तो तुमसे कम कमाती तो फिर मैं आ भी जाती, तुमसे ज्यादा कमा रही हूँ. ठीक है, एंड दिस एक्चुअली इज लीडिंग टू डिवोर्स. नाउ यू कैंट से कि इट इज गर्ल्स फॉल्ट और बॉयज फॉल्ट. इट इज स्ट्रक्चरल इशू. फेमिनिज्म हैज empowered women. So when you talk of women empowerment, be ready for the unintended consequence also. Acha, I'm not blaming women, I'm just studying feminism and its unintended consequences. Fine. Okay, so हम कैसे लिखेंगे? हम बोलेंगे feminism led to women empowerment, which means both equally ambitious. Equally ambitious. Okay. Leading to breakdown of family. Leading to breakdown. Do you know the structure of family can maintain itself only when one is ambitious and second is doing sacrifice. Traditionally, this is how we think. The moment both are ambitious, family structure breaks down. This is sociological imagination. Okay, that I studied structure of family, try to understand what actually makes family effective or integrated, and then I came to know with feminism, both ambitious, therefore break down. So I'm not looking into personal trouble, I'm studying structures. समझ रहे हो? ठीक है, fine. चलो, let us discuss some more examples. Okay.
COVID times में divorce rates spike. It is also a public issue.
Yes, public issue है, बिल्कुल. Personal trouble कुछ भी नहीं है. देखो, sociologically there is nothing called personal trouble. Okay. Fine. Let us discuss the idea of suicide. One of your friend committed suicide. Okay. You discussed this with the family of your friend. He was all fine. I don't know why he took this step. Okay. Yesterday only I met him. he was all fine. We went to party as well. It was late night party. We came back home. And this morning, you called me and told me that he committed suicide. Trust me, I did not do anything. Please, मुझे माफ कर दो. ठीक है. I know him very well. I knew him very well. He was all fine as long as he was with me. Okay. Acha. Again, your explanation is very personalistic, the personal trouble, something like this. Okay. I'm not saying that when you are explaining like this, you are wrong. This is how we generally explain everything. Okay. But when you look into Hindu newspaper next day, okay, you came to know every day 30 students commit suicide. ये डेटा आ गया. Every day 30 students commit suicide. हर रोज हो रहा है. तो तुम्हें लगा अच्छा मे बी ये शायद 30th था. मे बी okay, in the sense it was inevitable, ये होना ही था. Now the thing is why every day 30 students commit suicide? ये कोई प्लान बनाते हैं क्या? कैसे होता है ये? So suicide is not personal trouble. It is, first of all, we should understand suicide is a social phenomena. Okay. Now sociological imagination. Suicide rate increasing, something like this. It is public issue. Okay. Now, sociological imagination means to look for the larger structures causing suicide rate. Now, what could be the analysis? Do you remember the first lecture? There I told you that in every social group, okay, whether you talk about married as a group or single as a group, every social group has different kind of integration force. Married people have high integration. Single people have low in comparison to married ones. Now, if I am reading every day 30 students commit suicide, so students are not married. They are single. Okay. So I would say low degree of integration और delayed rate of marriage. तभी पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं जल्दी शादी कर लो नहीं तो सुसाइड कर लोगे. जब शादी जल्दी होती है ना तो यू फील इंटीग्रेटेड, अदरवाइज डिप्रेशन रहता है जिंदगी के अंदर. ठीक है, क्या कह रहे हो फिर मैंने क्यों नहीं करी? बट एनी हाउ, देखो ऐसा है कि जैसे आप डिले करते हो मैरिज को, आपके चांसेस इंडिविजुअलिस्ट होने के ज्यादा होते हैं एंड यू आर मोर वल्नरेबल टू डिप्रेशन. ओके, सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट Durkheim is saying that every social group has varied degree of integration. Every social group has varied degree of integration. Okay. For example, married group, high integration. Okay. Single group, low integration. This is first. Second, religious group, high integration. Agnostic group, low integration. Okay. So when you actually start collecting data on the people who committed suicide, you would actually come to know most of them were single. And most of them were agnostic. They never believed in God or temple or something like this. They were highly individualist, making them highly vulnerable to suicidal tendency. So this shows that there are some structures in society which regulate your tendency to commit suicide. The marriage is that structure. Family is that structure. Religion is that structure which ensure that you as an individual do not take such step. And these structures ensure integration. Fine. That means we are not saying कि भाई वो आदमी डिप्रेस था, कल रात को ज्यादा पी लिया, फिर परसों झगड़ा हो गया इसलिए सुसाइड. You are saying कि भाई marriage as a structure was absent in his life. Okay. Or he was quite distant from his family. Okay. So low integration causing suicide, something like this. Okay. You are not going into internal cause. You are looking for external structures. Got my point? ठीक है. चलो. चलो, let us explain कोविड, कोरोना वायरस को एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. थोड़ा कंटेम्प्रेरी आ जाएगा. ठीक है कि कोरोना वायरस को सोशियोलॉजिकली कैसे एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो. ओके. कोविड, one of your friend contracted coronavirus. What will you do? तुम मिलोगे, दूर रहे मेरे से 15 दिन तक. कितनी बार समझाया था, नहीं जाना है बाहर, नहीं जाना है बाहर. ठीक है, माननी नहीं अपनी. मेरे को तो होता ही नहीं कोरोना, मैं चाहे जितनी बार बाहर चल जाऊं. हो गया ना. सो अगेन यू आर ट्रीटिंग दैट person who has contracted coronavirus as his personal trouble. कि भाई मैंने तो समझाया था, नहीं माना ये. ओके. बट नेक्स्ट डे यू केम टू नो थ्रू हिंदू कि भाई कोविड तो is happening to every 2% out of 10. My friend is second person maybe, क्योंकि फर्स्ट तो मैं खुद हूं. ओके. तो every out of every 10, 2 people are contracting corona. अब ये क्या चक्कर है? COVID is a social phenomenon और public issue और mass issue. It is not personal trouble. हमने ये तो समझ लिया through Hindu और Indian Express. Okay. It is social issue, mass issue. Now we will explain sociologically. See, you will notice one thing. The people who could maintain social distancing, okay, they were still less vulnerable to COVID. But think of people who could not maintain social distancing because of structural issues. I'll explain you why. कैसे आपको मालूम होगा, the social distancing was a norm that was encouraged by Indian government to ensure that you stay safe from coronavirus. See, we could easily follow this norm of social distancing because we are from privileged families, we have smartphones, we could order everything at home, and thereby we could maintain social distancing, need not go outside. But think of many poor people who did not have smartphones. They had to go outside. Okay. Fine. ये तो आप समझ गए, उनको तो बाहर जाना ही पड़ेगा. Secondly, we are from middle class families. So we have 2 BHK at least. If not 3 or 4, at least we are living in 2 BHKs. Okay. Poor people, they don't even have 1 BHK. Slums, homeless, shelter wale. Okay. Or even if they have BHK, that is only 1 BHK. And in that 1 BHK, not 2 or 3, 6 people stay together. That means social distancing was privilege of a specific section of society, and this privilege was not available to many other sections of society, and therefore to think of coronavirus as personal trouble to few people would be wrong. Coronavirus largely impacted poor people. समझ रहे हो कि नहीं समझ रहे हो? This is sociological imagination, and इससे पता चलता है, see, अगर कोरोना वायरस इज अफेक्टिंग लार्जली पुअर पीपल, आप सोचो ना, क्या हम लोग अपना घर छोड़ के कहीं और भागे क्या? इट वॉज एक्चुअली लेबरर्स, द इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर laborers, the unorganized sector laborers who went back to their homes from Maharashtra, Delhi. They went back to their homes in UP and Bihar and Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. What we called as reverse migration. This happened during lockdown. We did not migrate anywhere. We simply sat at home. They had to migrate, and in the process of migration, they contracted coronavirus. ट्रेन में फैला दिया, हर जगह फैला दिया, गाड़ियों में फैला दिया. Okay, and we started blaming them. तुम लोग की वजह से कोरोना फैल रहा है, तुम लोग की वजह से. But it was not तुम. It was actually structural issue. They were poor. Okay, they did not have those facilities that we had. So this shows that if you look into coronavirus through sociological imagination, you come to know it was not just a virus affecting everyone. It was actually a virus which largely affected poor section, because social distancing is a privilege availed largely by upper and middle class people, not so easily by lower class people. Got my point? This is we call as sociological imagination. There is one scholar, Friedrich Engels. Okay, Engels was a very dear friend to Karl Marx. Okay, so Engels had actually coined one word, social murder. ये उसका एक टर्म है, उसका कॉन्सेप्ट है सोशल मर्डर. ये हिंदू में आया था लास्ट ईयर, ठीक है, इसलिए मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. What happened with poor people during coronavirus was actually social murder by the state, because it was inability of state to provide them basic necessities on time. Inability of state to inform them on time that lockdown is going to get imposed, to be prepared. We were easily prepared, or we could be easily prepared because we were privileged enough. Getting my point कि कैसे आप अलग नजर से देख रहे हो आप उसी चीज को आप. Fine. So write down here. COVID largely affected poor sections of society. और पुअर स्ट्रेटा, कुछ भी बोलो आप, सेक्शन बोलो या स्ट्रेटा बोलो, पुअर स्ट्रेटा ऑफ सोसाइटी. ओके, अपर क्लास, मिडिल क्लास, लोअर क्लास. अभी एकदम सिंपल करके मैं बता रहा हूं आपको, ठीक है, ठीक है. तो जब एक सोशियोलॉजिस्ट देख रहा है ना कोविड के रेट को, वो सडनली ऐसे देख रहा है, अच्छा कोविड इज देयर डेफिनेटली इन इंडिया, ओके, बट समहाउ देन ही सॉ, आफ्टर कलेक्टिंग डेटा, ही सॉ वन पैटर्न इन द डेटा. लार्जली कोविड इज हियर, कोविड इज एवरीवेयर, इधर भी अमंग फ्यू पीपल. बीच में आया था अमिताभ बच्चन को भी हो गया, ऐश्वर्या, बट वेरी फ्यू. लार्जली यहां पे है कोविड. Okay, why? Is every poor individually at fault? No. Something is wrong within this strata. State did not really give them enough support. Okay. Or, make them prepared beforehand. Okay, for this lockdown. Okay. Making them more vulnerable to contract coronavirus. Okay. So, हम इसलिए हम यहाँ पे लिख रहे हैं, COVID largely affected poor strata of society. For which or for whom social distancing was challenging. we could work from home, but these were those people who had to go out of their home to get work. समझ रहे हो ना? We could study from home as well, but they were actually they had to send their students, their children back to school only. They did not have internet or those services through which they could ensure that their children are studying from home. So we could do everything from home, and since they were homeless or they did not have enough support, they largely contracted corona. समझ गए? So there is no point in blaming individually anyone. Got my point? ठीक. तो थोड़ा थोड़ा आई गेस आप थोड़ा सोशियोलॉजिस्ट के सोचने में थोड़ा जा रहे हो, कैसे वो सोचते होंगे, हालांकि हम ये सब करते रहेंगे. इट इज रेगुलर एक्सरसाइज. Okay, fifth point, fifth example, one more example I'll give you. Okay. Yeah. अभी नहीं, ऐसे वर्ड ही नहीं यूज करने अभी, कैपिटलिज्म और ये सब. धीरे धीरे, पहले बेसिक्स. ठीक है, अभी कैपिटलिज्म में बोल दूंगा एकदम पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा कुछ के दिलों में. अभी हमने बात ही नहीं करी कैपिटलिज्म की. ठीक है, चलो फिफ्थ की बात करते हैं. लेट अस टॉक अबाउट ओबेसिटी, मोटापा. ठीक है, you may be having many friends who you think are obese और मोटे. हम बार बार मजाक उनका उड़ाते हैं बचपन से बड़े होने तक. ठीक है, रास्ते में हम खुद भी कई बार मोटे होते हैं, मजाक उड़ाते उड़ाते, फिर हम पतले होते फिर वापस मजाक उड़ाना शुरू करते हैं. जब खुद मोटे हो गए तब छुप गए 2 महीने के लिए, बाहर आ गए पतला होकर, अब मजाक उड़ाना शुरू. ठीक है, अच्छा. सो व्हेन यू आर ट्रीटिंग योर फैट फ्रेंड और ओबीस फ्रेंड, ओके, as someone who is ridiculous, nonsense, who does not take care of his health, whose sleep cycle is nonsense, something like this, the kind of food that he has is also unhealthy, you are treating obesity as personal trouble. Next day in Hindu, you actually came to know that obesity is a public issue, and out of 10, 4 people lose their life due to obesity. ऐसे आ रहा है आर्टिकल कुछ. ओके, ठीक है. तो obesity is not personal trouble, it is a social phenomena. Social phenomena. Now, sociological imagination. How would a sociologist explain obesity?
Lifestyle.
Very nice. Lifestyle. 9 to 5 jobs. हाँ, थोड़ा थोड़ा close हो. Basically, when I say how would a sociologist explain, you have actually started explaining that thing through external force. You're not looking into his internal psyche or lifestyle per se. Okay, so think more on the lines of external force which may be affecting his lifestyle and turning him into obese. Work pressure, okay. Technological changes. Indoor activities. Mechanization of task. Fine, very nice. You have already started thinking like that. देखो, first let us talk about one of the aspect which you just discussed, mechanization of task का मतलब क्या होता है? As I told you just 5 or 10 minutes back, that when technology comes, people lose their jobs. Okay, fine. That means what you were doing physically or manually, now that is being done by machines, and you are just doing press 1, press 2. बाकी सब मशीन कर रही है. That means you don't have any physical task to do anymore. सही बात है. So you used to do everything all by yourself. Everything. Now that everything is being done by machines. You are just operating on machines. Physical आपका तो वो खत्म हो रहा है, थोड़ा धीरे कम हो रहा है. Fine. Okay. Secondly, we know very well that in this world where everything is available at very cheap cost because of mass production. Okay. The most cheapest of all is fastest of the fastest food, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना फास्ट फूड. सबसे चीप वो पड़ता है. That in 200 rupees you would have क्या कहते हैं 4 or 5 items, but in the same 200 rupees McDonald's would offer you grand meal, 4-5 नहीं 20 items. So you would obviously want to have 20 items for 200 rupees instead of having 4 or 5 organic diet items for 200 rupees. आपको लगेगा अरे पेट वो भर रहा है, ये नहीं, ये तो मजाक बना रहे हैं हमारा, तो पेट भरेंगे हम, मैकडॉनल्ड चलेंगे. ठीक है. सो पेट भर लो. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली जो हो रहा है ओबेसिटी, इट इज एक्चुअली रिजल्ट ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन ऑफ फूड चेन्स. द मोर फूड चेन्स get industrialized, more elements of mass production would be visible in them. That means efficiency would be rewarded, calculability, predictability. आपको इतना कुछ मिल रहा है इतनी देर में और इतनी तेज तेज मिल रहा है. 200 रुपए में आप जाओ ताज होटल में, चाय मिलेगी आपको, वो भी एक आधा घंटा वेट करने के बाद. और वही 200 रुपए में मैकडॉनल्ड आपको ताज का मालिक बना देगा. ठीक है, 2 मिनट में सर आपके लिए सब कुछ, तो आप जाओगे मैकडॉनल्ड. This is called as industrialization of food chain. This is causing obesity. Food, especially high calorie food, is getting cheaper and cheaper, and low calorie food is getting expensive and expensive. That means it is very easy for you to get obese in the modern industrial society. So it is no longer personal trouble, again public issue. Got my point? ठीक है. तो हम एक लाइन लिखेंगे यहाँ.
Climate change can be also one of the factors because food nutrition intake is declining. जैसे fruits खा रहे हैं तो उसमें vitamins नहीं.
यस बोल सकते हैं, डेफिनेटली बोल सकते हैं. बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट इसने बोला. क्लाइमेट चेंज भी एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर हो सकता है. काफी फार फेचिंग था बट अच्छा था. ठीक है, यूज कर सकते हो आप. सो वी वुड से दैट इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन ऑफ फूड चेन is making high calorie food cheaper and accessible. जितनी ज्यादा कैलोरी उतना सस्ता. ठीक है. And this is happening because of industrialization of food chain. Okay. Industrialization of food chain का मतलब क्या होता है? That you don't have aloo tikki these days, you have mac aloo tikki. This is industrialization of food chain. यानी कि जो खाना आप वैसे खाते थे नॉर्मली, अब हर एक चीज का एक स्पेशलाइज्ड यूनिट बन गया है और इंडस्ट्रियलाइज हो गया है वो चीज, यानी मास प्रोडक्शन में अवेलेबल है, मशीन्स के थ्रू बनता है. फाइन. Thereby causing obesity. Fine. Online students, any issue? Yes. Processed food. Very nice. ठीक है, तो आप समझ गए हो कि सोशियोलॉजिस्ट की तरह कैसे सोचना है. चलो, अब एक हम इसका लिमिटेशन लिख लेते हैं. ओके. या फिर एक एग्जांपल और कर लें. वन मोर एग्जांपल. जस्ट लास्ट एग्जांपल है अब ये. ठीक है. पर्सनल ट्रबल की बात करते हैं, किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? रॉबरी, चोरी, चोरी, ठीक है। रॉबरी, ठीक है। One of your friend is robber, okay, and last night he robbed 2 lakh rupees, okay, from someone's house, and he is sharing 1 lakh rupees with you, 50 तेरा, चुप रही हो बस। मैंने कहा ठीक है, नहीं बताऊंगा क्लास में ये सब, ठीक है, अपने आपस की बीच की बात है, ठीक है। So he robbed 2 lakh rupees and gave me 1 lakh rupees to stay silent. Okay. I accepted it. I'm happy. Okay. But I would also, after some point of time, would suggest him कि भाई, please stop this work. Okay. Find some good job. कब तक you are going to steal money? Someone is doing hard work, earning so much of wealth, and you are just trying to steal off that money. That is not wrong. It is immoral. I don't know why your parents have not given you proper values. इस तरह की बात आप करने लग गए उसके साथ, सडनली पता नहीं क्या हो गया आपको भी, ठीक है। अभी तक मजा आ रहा था आपको भी, लेकिन अब आप समझा रहे हो उसको। You are treating robbery as personal trouble, okay, but we know very well that stealing, robbing, ये सब, these are common instances. You see them every day. कोई बैंक लूट रहा है, कोई घर लूट रहा है किसी का, कोई पोस्टर लूट के जा रहा है। यहाँ पे ओल्ड राजेंद्र नगर में पोस्टर भी लूट लेते हैं, उसको बेच के आ जाता है, 20 रुपए चाय पी लेते हैं शाम की, ऐसा भी करते हैं कुछ लोग, ठीक है। So you actually came to know that robbery is a social phenomenon, social issue. It is social issue. No sociological imagination. See, a sociologist would say it is not his fault. बार बार वो हमेशा यही बोलता है, उसकी गलती ही नहीं है, कुछ एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स है। यही लिमिटेशन भी है, पता है, यही लिमिटेशन बनेगा कि हर चीज में यार तुम उसको बचाई जा रहे हो, स्ट्रक्चर्स को ब्लेम करी जा रहे हो। बट एनी हाउ, sociologists would say, see, it was not his fault. The problem is with the kind of society and its values. See, right after passing class 12th, what your parents tell you? Get a good college. Okay. Okay. After getting the college, your parents will tell you get a good placement. ठीक है. अच्छा, why do they emphasize on placement? So that you could earn money, because money is the end. पढ़ाई से कुछ नहीं होएगा, आखिर में अब पैसा, पढ़ाई तो करवा ली, अब पैसा कमाओ, okay. So money is the ultimate end, and the more money you have, the more successful you are. This is the logic of society, right? This is where we think like this, that I am from Mars or you are also from Mars and studying Earth, where money is equal to success. Okay, ये हमारे values हैं कुछ ऐसे. Okay, fine. Now, to have your own bungalow, to have your own car, to have millions is seen as success in today's market. If you have your own car, bungalow and money, you are a successful person. This is how we define success. Now, the issue is the people who are living in, think like this, slums. Just to give you one example, okay. They also know these values, that they have to have bungalow, car, okay. उनसे ज़्यादा कार और कोई नहीं देखता है पूरे दिन में, जितनी मर्सिडीज वो देखते हैं अपने घर के सामने से निकलते हुए, okay. So they also have those ambitions that I want to have car, ये वाला चाहिए मेरे को जो निकला है अभी, okay. I want to have bungalow, I want to have क्या कहते हैं, as much wealth, okay. But since they are not educated, they are not qualified, they don't have proper standards of living, but they want to have that goal in their life. So what would they do? They would resort to stealing. So they conformed to the goal. Conformed मतलब they accepted the goal of society. हाँ कि सक्सेस हम मानते हैं, यस गाड़ी बंगला होना ये सक्सेस, ये हम मानते हैं, पर हम ऐसे नहीं लेंगे प्यार से, हम छीन लेंगे, क्योंकि प्यार से लेने का टाइम अपने पास है नहीं, हमें फैमिली ने सिखाया नहीं, पढ़ाई कराई नहीं, बट हम तो गोल तो मान रहे हैं ना, आप सब लोग का मान रहे हैं हम तो. ओके, दैट मीन्स at the end of the day, it is not individual who is at fault. It is the culturally made goals in society, which is making people robbers. If we did not have such goals in society, that you have to have car, bungalow, wealth, and more wealth you have, the more successful you are. If we did not have such kind of goals, nobody would have been robber. अब आप सोचोगे ऐसा गोल नहीं तो फिर कैसा गोल होएगा? There are multiple ways to think of goals in society. Gandhi gave new goals. Marx gave new goals. ये जो philosophers होते हैं ना, philosophers, they actually talk about new kind of society where we should be living. So Gandhi always used to say that ये money, ये सब, this is sin. Let's have limited needs, self-sufficiency. Marx used to believe classless society, moneyless society. A society where there is no inequality. If there is no inequality, if there is no poor, poor would not be stealing money from the rich. If everyone is equal, there would be no robbery. But unfortunately, since everyone is not equal and some have means to accept those goals, many other may not have those means to accept goals, they would resort to robbery. So we would say, according to sociological imagination, it is the material success / culturally defined goal of material success. Okay. Which produces deviance. ये थोड़ा टेक्निकल वर्ड है यहाँ पे मैं यूज कर रहा हूं. विच प्रोड्यूसेस डिवियंस. डिवियंस का मतलब होता है कुछ ऐसा करना जो एक्सेप्टेबल ना हो. रॉबरी करना इज समथिंग विच इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल. ओके ओके, सो टू कमिट डिवियंस मीन्स टू डू समथिंग विच इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल. ओके, यस बोल सकते हैं, बिल्कुल बोल सकते हैं. डिक्लाइनिंग स्पिरिचुअल वैल्यूज या फिर मटीरियल वैल्यूज का बढ़ना इज वन एंड द सेम. यस, फाइन, ठीक है. See, as long as people were religious ना, at least there was no such kind of things happening in society. पाप करना चोरी माना जाता था. ओके, चोरी करना पाप माना जाता था. ओके, उल्टा हो गया, चोरी करना पाप होता था. ओके ओके, so to drink was also a sin. To have intoxicant was also a sin. To covet private property जैसे जैनिज्म में was sin. Okay, to lie was sin. But now religion is questioned. यानी झूठ भी बोलो, चोरी भी करो, पियो, जो करना है करो, तो you would have deviance. It is structural issue. Got my mind? It is not personal trouble. ठीक है, अब limitations पे आ जाते हैं. लिमिटेशंस पे आते हैं. सोशियोलॉजिकल इमेजिनेशंस limits the explanation to the structures. Sociological imagination limits the explanation to the structures and ignores individual acts or individual actions. ये तो वही बात होगी कि पुलिस ने चोर को पकड़ा और चोर ने बोला इट इज कल्चरली डिफाइंड गोल, इट इज नॉट मी, यू चेंज द गोल, यू वुड नॉट हैव मी। तो पुलिस वाला मारेगा ही उसको और मारेगा, ठीक है। सो भाई कब तक स्ट्रक्चर्स पे ब्लेम डालेंगे? सेकंड, it is limiting sociology to macro level analysis. Macro level analysis. जैसे in economics we read about macroeconomics, microeconomics. Similarly in sociology we also read macro sociology, micro sociology. Macro sociology means study structures. Micro means study individuals. But sociological imagination studying structures every time. Okay, that means it is limiting sociology to macro level only. समझ गए ना?